Hey basketball players, today I'm going to talk to you about how you can shoot the ball with more arc. Now I was asked recently how to shoot the ball with more arc because that player's coach was telling them, you need to shoot with more arc, you need to shoot with more arc. And if your coach is also telling you this, then this video is for you. So let's get down to it. Okay, so when a coach tells you to shoot with more arc, what does that really mean? What that really means is just that your shot is too straight, and basically when you're shooting a basketball and it's going straight, the rim looks really small to the ball. And what I mean by this is, let's say this is the rim, okay? If you shoot straight, this is what the rim looks like, but if you shoot with arc, the ball drops into the rim, so it actually makes the rim look like this. So what does this really do for us? Well, actually, two basketballs could actually fit into the rim at the same time, side by side, or at least pretty darn close. So this tells us that there's actually a lot of space in that rim to actually hit. So by shooting with a lot of arc, what you're hoping for is for that rim to look much bigger to the ball because it's going to be dropping into it. But also what you're going to be getting too is the chance for the ball to hit the top of the rim and to bounce in, kind of like that Kawhi Leonard shot that happened last year. Now, why is this important? Well, if you shoot with no arc, if it hits that rim, it's most likely going to continue, hit the backboard, and then bounce off somewhere else. And we don't really want that. Or if you're shooting from the side, it's going to hit the rim and bounce completely over the rim, which is why if you really want to get a lot of rebounds, you're going to be on the opposite side of where players shoot the ball. It's all about physics. But I'm not talking about rebounds today. So what we're talking about is arc. How can we get more arc? Now, there's a saying, if your shot is short, you need more legs, which means you need to jump higher for your shot. And that's if your shot is short. If your shot is too long, which means that you possibly and probably didn't shoot with enough arc, you need to reach up higher and put more arc on that shot. So what I want you to do right now is to go out after this video with your cell phone, camera, whatever, and record your shot. Record yourself shooting. Now, if you're shooting and your release is like this, that means that that ball has most likely zero arc. If you shoot like this, at a 45-degree angle up, that's a little bit better, but you still need to get higher. To get a lot of arc, you need to release the ball and have your arms straight up. That's going to allow you to shoot with a lot of arc. Now, the more arc you have on the ball, the better. I've seen players with ridiculous arc. I played with a player, I'm not going to say his name, but I played with a player in high school whose three-point shot literally came within inches of the roof of the gym. He jumped super high and his shot arc was ridiculous. And yeah, he was getting looked at by NCAA universities as well, so he was a good player. But don't tell him I said that. Whew. Gotten lots of fights with him saying I was better. But anyways, so what you need to do is release the ball higher. Now, when you do this, what's going to happen is your shot is going to be much shorter when you put a lot of arc on it. So what you need to do to complement the arc is to jump higher. Like I was saying, if your shot is short, you want to jump higher. So what I want you to tell me is in the comments, what shot looks better? Shot number 1 or shot number 2? Now, which shot looked better? Shot number 1 or shot number 2? I'm gonna say that shot number 2 looked better. I think there was more arc on that shot than shot number 1. And now you can also see how my arms release the ball as well. So what you could actually do to help improve your shot without having to really focus on your form, because obviously some players might have an issue with that. One way that I have found, at least with myself, how I learned how to shoot with better arc was you can get some with a mechanical rebounder, some will be just a physical rebounder where it'll just roll out. But basically a big net rebounder. Obviously, if you're at the park, it's kind of a big thing to carry around. I don't have one, but when I get my own gym, I will. And basically it's a big mesh. I'll put a picture of it sometime around here, but basically a big mesh thing where if you miss, it bounces into the net. That net goes actually quite a bit higher than the rim, and it forces you to be able to shoot with more arc. Now with those, one of those things actually helped me be able to shoot with more arc, and I think it could help you as well. But if you don't have one of those or don't have the financial means, because obviously a non-mechanical one that shoots the ball back at you, one that doesn't shoot them back, they run around $200. The ones that do shoot them back usually run in the $5,000 range. So of course, not everyone can afford one of those two things, but you can grab them in the link in the description if there's any on Amazon, and I remember to put them down there. But these are some different ways that you can shoot the ball with more arc. The best way I can tell you is by releasing that ball a lot higher instead of a lot more forward. And that is my biggest thing that I can tell you. Make sure when you're shooting the ball that you really want to flick your wrist at the end. You really want to get a lot of spin on that ball. Outside it cuts through a lot of wind, but in the gym it allows you to have a softer shot when it hits that rim. It allows it to bounce around a little bit more. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.